Joining me in the studio this morning, I've got Monmouth-Roseville High School Athletic Director, Mr. Jeremy Adolphson, with an update on some Titan sports. How you doing, Coach?
Good, Sean. How are you?
Good. Postseason's here, man. We're postseasons for everything.
Yeah. So we had one wrap it up last week, and then one with a big extension, and then everybody else is in play this week. So yeah, it's that time of year.
We'll start with soccer. They made a regional championship for the first time in the short girls soccer program of 3 years, minus the COVID year. That's pretty good. I think the boys, we were talking about, the boys made a regional championship when they started their program several years ago, so they're on pace. I figure 8 more years will be in a state final then.
Right, yeah. No, it was an exciting week. It was fun there. Had a lot of good compliments about the facility and the fields from all the opposing teams that came over, and then the girls performed really well. Got a nice win over Canton, a team that we'd tied twice throughout the year. We were able to get on them relatively early, and then got up 2-0, and Canton scored late, but really late, 40-some seconds left, and to cut it 2-1. So 2-1, but probably not as close as that sounds there, because basically once we took control of the ball, just got it in the corner and ran out the clock there. But really nice win, good crowd there on Wednesday for sure, and then Friday. Regional championship, same thing, really nice size crowd for sure once again. And Bloomington Central Catholic, really good program that was the top seed coming in for sure. And they got us. But again, I think, like you said, just kind of taking steps. It was the success they had this year was great. Unfortunately, Yoselin Hernandez getting hurt was kind of a crushing blow. I think I'd said it in here a few times, how many goals she had scored in the history of our program, because she was the one who seemed like she scored almost all of them. I always kind of said, she scores like 85% of our goals. Well, Coach Statham corrected me, said it was actually 96% of our program history goals when she got hurt. So it's dropped since then, obviously. But
Right.
But to go and get wins and still remain very competitive and successful throughout the rest of the year without undoubtedly your best player as a senior says a lot for the program and the girls that were there. And I think excitement level is really high. This year we had to have cuts. We had
tons of girls on the roster.
46 girls came out for soccer. We don't see that in any sport right now. So the excitement level is high, not only for the girls that you would think of that have played a lot of soccer in their background, but we've had a lot of girls join the soccer team with not as much of a soccer background that are swimmers and volleyball players and basketball players and have all performed really well. So it's been very cool, and even noticing throughout the year that the number of kids that are showing up to watch these games, it's really increasing. The number of members of the student body that are there, and again seeing people at the regional championship and semifinal that don't have like a direct connection to a girl out there on the field. So it was a fun week, a great week, and now the hope is that since we've hosted a regional now, that we can get in a solid rotation for the girls and get up into the rotation for the boys as well. I mean, I would think with our facility and with our level of success, especially on the boys' end, and now the girls getting there, I would think it's not out of the realm to think we should be hosting one or the other every other year probably. So hopefully that does come into play. And this year was kind of lucked out. They posted the assignments and said they were looking for a regional host, and so I got a hold of the HSA that morning. I think it was the Monday after Easter, and they were closed. We didn't hear them back for 24 hours, but just, hey, we'll do it. This is what this thing was built for. So very cool to get a chance to do that, and having the radio there on Friday, adds to the excitement as well. And it was just a fun week. Said now we just look forward to the time where they can host the trophy at the end.
Yeah, you could just kind of see, Bloomington Central Catholic established program, and you could just see maybe some little things like just the technical aspects of soccer that maybe we're just missing right now because of our inexperience, and that'll start coming along.
Oh yeah,
you see the difference in just the experience.
And it's it's like anything else. It's highly competitive,
yes.
And they play a lot of those 2A schools around the for soccer, 2A schools, the biggest schools there for around the Bloomington area, and their records are around 500 because they lost a lot of close games there, but they'd kind of handled all the teams in the 1A realm. So yeah, it's just going to be a matter of building it, and like anything else, Coach Statham's a real demanding coach, just like our other coaches that have had success and will continue to have success, and our boys and our girls alike throughout all of our programs typically respond to that because there's going to be higher expectations. You go from where it's fun to score a goal the first year to now it's, hey, we're going to go play for regional championship, and so when you increase those expectations, and but I think our kids have typically rose to the challenge in all of our sports, especially when we've had the talent that's capable of competing at that level, and we've seen it throughout this year, especially on the girls' side, no doubt about it.
Yeah, Coach Statham almost echoed those exact same sentiments on the post-game show. Now it's time. It's not fun. It's still fun. Don't get me wrong. It's still fun, but now the expectations have risen a little bit.
Yeah, and it's like I said, it's
supposed to be.
It's intense, and
yeah,
it's one of those sports when you watch it. There's a lot of time to get some coaching in. I mean, it's obviously you're on the move, but there is some time in between where you can get people's attention, and the way you get people's attention on a big field, if someone who's coached football for 24, 25 years, is you're going to be pretty loud about it. So a lot of people are going to hear.
He's one of my favorite guys to watch on the sidelines.
Corrections, but that's the way it is. If it was golf, I'd walk up next to you and whisper in your ear what I want you to do. But this is, in some cases, you got to get a lot of information out there quickly. And you hear the girls doing it as well, which I think is a testament to them. And even I'm thinking girls who've maybe only played for a couple of years that are, I feel like Addie Smith, one of our seniors, like she is constantly communicating to the girls out in front of her and around her to try to help get people in the right spot. And inevitably, as a coach, that's really what you want. Like if you got to tell everybody everything, there ain't enough time for it. You're not going to be good enough. But if you can get some kids to understand and communicate throughout the year, I know that's something that Yoselin was really good at when she was out there as well. That's, to me, that's a big step. When you're not just you're not waiting for information when you're on the field, that you're able to deliver the information, and when the coach's vision and the player's vision combine, now you really got something. That's the old school, the old school. What makes a captain? It's not about being really good or being popular. It's, can you be an extension of what was being taught on the field, because you can cure up a lot of potential issues during that time, and those are the people that are your leaders and your captains.
In those kind of, I call them reactionary type sports, if a coach has to tell you to do something, it's probably too late.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, if you want a guy to go from first to third on a single, if you have to tell him, it's probably going to be too late. Yeah. He's got to recognize that himself.
Yeah, and again, that's experience, and playing against teams like Bloomington Central Catholic helps that. All those girls that'll be back next year, they're going to remember playing against a high level team there, and know that what it's going to take to get to that next level. But I really don't think it's really far away. I know Coach Statham was confident that if Yoselin can play, if she's still playing, this is a 1 to 2 goal game where you got a shot. And if you're in that situation, then you always have a shot. And it was going to be tough to score against them, because you're without a doubt best all-time scorer, and maybe for a while isn't playing. So you're going to have to go shut down a team that's really, really good. That's tough to do. But if you can trade goals a little bit, obviously you have a little better shot. So, but it was a great year. I mean, the amount of success they had, and like I said, even after Yoselin got hurt, it was really a huge downer. But man, we still played really well, and did a great job there, and just kind of picked up the slack. And it was fun to watch. And luckily with soccer, that's one that I get to see the majority of the home games. I think only 2 of them I wasn't able to be at, because we had track meets going on at the same time. But it's fun to watch the progression this year, and especially this spring when it actually was reasonable weather. Last year they played in the muck and the mud every single game. This year was a little better off, and we lucked out last week with the weather. The weather forecast just kind of worked with us all week and had fantastic weather as well.
Track teams, both the boys and girls, had big meets last week. Both of them.
Yeah. So they had a meet at Galva, kind of last invite there on Monday. Did really well. Won both of those, I believe, boys and girls. There, it's kind of a tune-up for the sectional, which was on Thursday over at Galesburg. Carmen Houston, not to any huge surprise, will be moving on this week. She won the shot put there, and will be competing in the shot put once again this year at state. Last year, medal winner, which was very, very cool, and I know has high aspirations. She's performed very well in every big meet that we've had. Performed very well at the Prep Top Times, the indoor state meet, and now she'll be taken off on Thursday. And we'll have the preliminaries on Friday, and hopefully things go well, and she'll be going Saturday in the finals and gunning for another medal. And I know with her performance throughout the year, she's absolutely put herself in that position. I know the coaches were really happy with the overall efforts and progression of our girls team. That's pretty small and really inexperienced, even with some of the older girls. But Carmen was definitely the leader throughout the year. So, like I said, not a huge surprise, but still a great accomplishment to be back at the state meet again this year. And she'll be one of the names that's in contention. Actually, I saw a guy that's a few years older than me from a leader that I knew when I was a kid, and he's a throws coach for one of the schools that would have competed against Carmen. Just said, like, she can be a state champion. Like, she's that good,
Just a sophomore,
right? Yeah. So this year now it's really, she's going to go after it. And like I said, it's going to be fun. Hopefully things go well there, and and then next year as a senior, hopefully she can pull some more with her.
Junior, right?
Junior this year, yeah. Last year as a sophomore.
That's right.
Yeah, but But yeah, just like I said, all year long, very consistent. Like I said, probably the least surprising sectional champion for us in a while, because she just, I mean, outside of the prep top times meet, I'm not sure that anyone ever beat her in the shot put throughout the years. So, and many times not terribly close. So, yeah, hopefully get good weather down there. It looks like it's going to be okay at the end of the week. So, I know they'll be very excited about prepping and getting ready to enjoy that experience once again.
Good. And the boys had their conference championship on Friday.
Yeah, Friday at Princeton got a conference championship. So a track conference championship for us there. And I know Coach Fair is really excited. New Riverdale was going to be a tough competition. Princeton's going to be a tough competition. Then just anytime you put 14 schools together, there's always going to be some points that get taken from you that maybe you weren't anticipating. But I know big performances there at that meet. And if I remember correctly, I think Ethan Davis broke Trevor's school record for about 3 minutes, and then Trevor came back and re-broke it once again. So we have both of our throwers repetitively breaking a school record that was 15, 16 years old, going back to 2007. So I know they're ready to go. Jerome Jackson performed really well again in the long jump and the 100. I believe he won that. I think he beat Peyton Locke. That was his first win in the 100 over him, I believe, during this season. Our relays, 4x1, 4x2, looking really good right now. So, I know their goal was to white bus it to the state finals, not suburban to the state finals, and they feel like there's a reasonable chance that could happen. We got 2-3 kids who we think should go, and then after that it's can we get another 4 or 5, because it looks like, or 6 even, it looks like those are all in play this week. They do have the sectional. They will be going to Geneseo on Wednesday. They also have the Spartan invite today over at BPC, last one there, but then Wednesday will be at Geneseo. So quick turnaround for them. Big meet Friday, get a meet in today. They'll probably act kind of as a final practice almost more than anything else. And then, Wednesday, get a chance to find out who gets to extend their season on the boys' end.
Baseball and softball start their regional plays this week, so they had their last week of the regular season last week.
Correct. Yeah. So baseball had a really big week as far as big time wins. Had Sherrard on Monday, got a really solid victory there over Sherrard. Sherrard's a team that had been battling with Orion at the top of the conference, had been tied at one point with them at the top of the conference, but we beat them on Monday. Did take an extra innings loss at Knoxville. I know they weren't super positive about afterwards there on Tuesday, but bounced right back on Thursday, went to Sherrard and beat Sherrard on the road. So, the other two top teams throughout the year, the Sherrard and Orions of the track, we went 3-1 against them in the last 2 weeks, and the one was a 1-run loss at the end. So played really well down the stretch. The elusive Morrison Mustangs for baseball and softball. Again, we got one game in out of 4 in the last 2 years with them. So we were good to go in the morning, and that was leading up to noon. And then a little before 1 o'clock, got an update that, the last 45 minutes it just poured here. There's no way we're playing today. So those were canceled, and so the kids got a chance to practice their after school there on Friday and getting ready for the regionals this week. And we will host the regional quarterfinal game, the play-in game, if you will, today against Illini West out at Sunny Lane Field at 4:30. And then if we can get that one, we would then play into Wednesday at Macomb, but it would be against Brimfield Wednesday at 4:30. If we can get the win there today, and if we can get a win on Wednesday, then the championship game is scheduled for Saturday morning at 11 o'clock, also at Macomb. So big week coming up for our kids, and I know us and Illini West are technically the 2 bottom seeds of the Macomb Regional, but Coach was telling me last week, he's like, Illini West like 14-10. Like there's nobody is poor on our side, so we got to get out and go after them today and get a nice one hopefully at home and keep the momentum that we've had going. And on the other end, no one's bad in it, but I don't think anyone's dominant either. So hopefully this is a great opportunity that my 23 years removed from baseball coaching tells me that no one in our regional is going to be better than Orion and Sherrard. Where they might be as good, no one's going to be better than them, and we played really well against them. So there's no reason to think that you couldn't go get 3 wins this week and have a regional championship for baseball.
Yeah, you don't have too many regionals that everybody is over 500.
Right. Yeah.
An 8 seed.
Sure.
Illini West, over 500. Yeah,
Yep.
That's being a good one. But again, like you said, nothing real dominant. We'll have today's baseball game between Monmouth-Roseville and Illini West on the Prairie Communications Sports Network right here on AM 1330, FM 94.1 WRAM, 4:15 with the pregame start. Softball finished up their season against a really tough Sherrard Ball Club, and then they start their regionals.
Yeah, they lost. We had senior night, senior day last Monday, and took a loss there at home. We lost out on our Stark County game on Tuesday. They had a class trip, something senior thing going on, and was going to take away a bunch of their kids, so couldn't get that one in Tuesday. Couldn't find anybody else that could play for us there on Tuesday. Did have the trip to Sherrard on Thursday, and they got us there as well. And then Friday, as things were shaking around there, Friday, Coach Ippen, who had coached at Stark County before, had been talking to their softball coach during the day. Well, they were looking for an opponent for Friday. And at the time, we were going to Morrison. And then after Morrison canceled, he's like, do you care if we go to Stark County if they'll take us? And so he reached out to them real quick. I mean, it was, I don't even know what time it was, 1:30, probably getting close to leave time. And Stark County had just released their umpires. Like, well, we got to get back a hold of them and make sure now that they're willing to come, because I'm thinking an umpire gets a Friday night off, they're probably running for the hills.
Yeah.
But they were able to. The last thing I heard was right about 2 o'clock. Like, we're going. Like, one of them for sure is coming back, is going to do it. So they'll at least have an umpire. So, you know, the kids were expecting a road game. They just got to leave a little bit later than they would have for Morrison. So they got to play, and we lost 2-1 at Stark County there on Friday to wrap up that regular season portion there. The softball girls will play at Farmington today. That's the regional quarterfinal game. They're at Farmington at 4:30. And if we were to win today, we would go to the Brimfield Regional and play tomorrow at 4:30, and that would be against Mercer County if we get the win today. And then I believe their regional championship, I think it's set for Friday.
Friday.
Yeah.
Yep.
So hopefully can extend the season today with a road victory and get a chance to go compete against the top seed there at Brimfield, which will be Mercer County.
All right, Coach, thank you so much. Good luck to Carmen this weekend at the state finals.
Yeah, very, very exciting. And like I said, has the experience there. And, I think it should be a great week, and hopefully a chance to get another medal around her neck and just keep moving up the ladder there with her accomplishments throughout the year, from volleyball to basketball to track
year.
now. So that's not bad when you're still got one more year to go.
Right. All right, my man. We'll catch up with you next Monday.
Sounds good. Thanks, Sean.
Monmouth-Roseville High School Athletic Director Jeremy Adolphson on our Monmouth McDonald's Coach's Corner.